Hey everyone, in this video I'm getting ready to show you how to make the crochet ruffle headband. This is my version of how I came up with how to make the crochet headband. This is the ruffle headband. Let me show you in the next clip all the items you're going to need. All right guys, so this is the items that you're going to need to make the crochet ruffle hat. You're going to need some 4-ply yarn. This is a medium weight yarn. And you're also going to need your number 6mm hook or the letter J crochet hook. All right, we're going to need scissors and tapestry needles at the end, but we'll get to that in a moment. So what we're going to do is I want you to use 2 strands. It could be the same color or it can be multiple colors of yarn. But for this tutorial, I'm going to use the same color, which is a cream or beige. I don't have the label. So I want you to get 2 strands of yarn, all right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start, I'm gonna move this out of the way so we don't have no distractions. And once you get your 2 strands of yarn, I want you to wrap those 2 strands of yarn around your finger. Go through 2 of your fingers, pull the one that's hanging and pull through. This is what we call a slip knot. Now we're just going to close the slip knot up. And we're going to start with a chain of 60. Now, when you're making your chain, I want you to make your chains to fit around the circumference of your head, leaving at least an inch, okay? Leave a little room, about that much room. Don't have it all the way closed. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So go ahead and chain 60. The way that we chain 60 is 1, grab the yarn, pull through, 2, 3, 4. Now go ahead and do a chain of 60. All right, so once you have your chain of 60, I want you to wrap this chain around your head and make sure it doesn't fit it all the way. Leave some room, because once we do our ruffles, the band will expand. So fit it around your head, leave about 1 inch or 2 that is not fitted, okay? So once we got the chain of 60, for example, now we just going to make sure our work is not twisted. We're going to stretch it, stretch it, stretch it. Stretch it, stretch it, stretch it. And now I'm going to go into the chain 1 space and we're going to do a slip stitch to join. Now I'm only going to be using these 2 strands at a time just for this row and the next portion. All right, let's pull that on through. Make sure again that your work is not twisted. If your work is not twisted, great. Now we're just going to chain 1, and to each stitch around, we're going to do a single crochet, making sure you're going through both of the strands. So I'm just going to go to the next stitch, single crochet, the next stitch, insert my hook, pull through. I got 2 loops, pull through both 2. So go ahead and do a single crochet all the way around till you get back to your first single crochet, and I'll meet you back. All right, guys. All right, my camera just moved a little bit. Let's make sure we have this. Now this is our foundation row. So this is now thick. Make sure nothing is twisted. And now we're just going to move this strand back, and we're going to do a slip stitch to join, making sure I'm going through both of those stitches, and we're going to do a slip stitch to join. Now, you got 2 options. You can continue on using both strands of yarn. That's your prerogative, but I'm going to cut one of the strands. I only want to use one. Making sure I'm cutting the right one, because I was holding on to 2. And I want to make sure I only use this one here. Hold on 1 second so I can get to this one here. Okay, I'm back. So I was using 2 strands at a time. I want to get rid of one of the strands, which is this right here. So I'm just going to cut this yarn, but I still have this one attached to my work. So let's cut that. Now this is your choice if you want to have your ruffle headband thicker or just the way that we're doing it here. So now I just got one strand which I'm working with, so I can pull this to the side now. Now I'm just going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. It's your option if you want to have a stitch marker here or not. It's not necessary, but if you want to, I want to give you that option. And we're just going to make sure we crocheting over these strands that we got dangling down here. Into that same stitch, we're going to put 2 more double crochets, making sure I'm grabbing all this yarn. We're going to put 2 more double crochets into the same stitch. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to disregard this because I don't want nobody to get confused. We're going to go back into that same stitch and put 1 more double crochet into that same stitch. So all we're doing right here, and I can just move that to the side now, is we're going into every stitch around and we're going to put 3 double crochets into each stitch around. So that's 2, and I'm going to then, and there again, and that is 3. Go into your next stitch, which is right here, and put 3 double crochets. That's 1, wrap the yarn around, pull through, go through 2, go through 2. That's 2 double crochets. I'm gonna go in there one more time and do another double crochet. So that's 3 double crochets all the way around, and I'll meet you back at our chain 3. All right, guys, so I made it all the way back around to my chain 3. I'm just going to insert my hook on top of the chain 3, and then I'm just going to do a slip stitch to join. We're going to chain up 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to go back into that same stitch there, and I'm going to put 2 more double crochets into the same stitch. That's 1. Go back into that same space. And then that's 2. So that's a total of 3 double crochets into each stitch. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat the previous row where I'm just putting 3 double crochets into the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to repeat that all the way around. 3 double crochets into each stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And I will meet you back at our chain 3. So go all the way around. All right, you guys, so I made it back to my chain 3 stitch. I'm going to go on top of the chain 3, and we're going to do a slip stitch to join. And we're going to repeat again. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Go directly back into that same stitch and put 2 more double crochets. So that's 1, and that's 2. So that make 3 double crochets into the same stitch. And we're just going to repeat what we did on the previous 2 rows. We're going to go into the next stitch. Sometimes that next stitch could be a little bit tight, but nevertheless, make sure you go into it and put 3 double crochets into the same stitch. And we're going to do that all the way around till we get back to our chain 3 space. 3 double crochets into each stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet you back at our chain 3 space stitch. All right, guys, so I am back. What happened was I ran out of this yarn, this color right here, and I don't have any more in my stash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another color. So the color that I'm getting ready to add is this green. I thought this green and this color, which is either cream or Aran, I think it will play together very well. So you can do this in multiple colors, or if you have enough yarn, you can make it in one color. If I had to estimate how much yarn this is taking, I would say 264 yards. So if you buy a skein of yarn, it would take that whole skein of yarn to do this project. Okay, so the way that I add new colors is I wrap my yarn around the hook, and I'll start the double crochet by going through the first 2 loops, and then I stop. Then I pick up my new color yarn and I fold it like this. See how I got a pan, and then I pull it through. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie these smaller ends together. I'm just going to put them in a knot so they do not come loose. But doing it this way, you would never know that I connected these 2 colors together. So let's make sure it's on my hook. Yes, it is. And I'm just going to put it in another knot. All right, and make sure it's tightly on there. So I got my new color on here. So now we're just going to, let's move this over some. And now we're just going to finish this project. So I just wanted to show in, I'm holding both of those loose strands, and I'm just going to crochet over them. And by crocheting over them, I don't have to worry about sewing in these loose strands at the end, because crocheting over them, it's kind of like hiding the yarn. So go ahead and complete this. I just wanted to make sure I came back and share with you guys. I did have to add another color. If you don't have to, don't. But if you do, add it the way I just did. All right, you guys. So I made it back to my stitch marker. And I'm going to go ahead and do a slip stitch to join. And that will conclude the tutorial. So let's go on top of chain 3. And let's go do a slip stitch. I wasn't planning on making this a 2-tone, but that's how it turned out. So whether you're going to do a 2-tone or whether you do this all in one color, it still is beautiful. So that was 3 rows of doing 3 double crochets in each stitch. And I'm just going to go off camera and get rid of some of these strands. So go ahead and sew in all of your loose strands. And then I'm going to show you how this looks on my mannequin. All right, you guys, so this is how it looks on my mannequin head. Oh, this turned out so beautiful. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of this beautiful crochet ruffle headband? This is my version. I did not follow anyone's tutorial. I just try to make it as easy and simple as I possibly could. And this is the results of it. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. Until next video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Continue in love, continue in prayer, and continue reading the word of the Most High. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.